Yeah, I was born January 1st, 1921 at 11:45 at night. I don't know how much I weighed, but I didn't win a prize. Won very few prizes since. Except, I guess you'd say, my 4 kids and 9 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren, they've all been quite a prize. And I went to country school at called Maple Grove. This was down in Wayne County, Iowa. I went 8 years to country school, where we had to carry water to the school and had to carry coal in from what they called the coal house to a pot-bellied stove that hit the schoolhouse. And we had our Christmas programs and plays and stuff like that for Christmas and some holidays. And we played outside at recess in the schoolyard. Some of the things that we played was most everybody had old horse buggies, and they were about wore out, so all that was really left of them was what they called the running gears. And we'd sit on the back springs and guide them with ropes, and some of us little guys would sit on the springs, and then the bigger boys would push us around the schoolhouse opposite ways and crash us into each other. And me and the other driver would get throwed off and banged up, and we'd be bawling, and they'd pick us up and set us back on, and away we'd go again. So wonder we lived through some of it. And then some of the games we played was ante-over, the schoolhouse with the ball, and fox and geese in the wintertime, where we drew 2 big circles in the snow, and then a few sections in between, and everybody was geese except the guy that was it, and he chased them around and tried to catch them while they was inside one of these circles. If they could get around and get back inside the circle, that was home, and then he'd have to chase somebody else. But if he'd catch them, then they were it, and they were the fox. And we spent quite a few hours playing fox and geese. And also, we did a lot of coasting with our sleds and ice skates. We had ice skates just clamped on the bottom of your shoes, and then they had a key that you tightened them up with, and there was a pond, not quite a quarter of a mile south of us, and we'd go down and skate on that pond. And we made hockey sticks, and I don't remember what we had for a puck, but we did a lot of skating down there. And in the fall of the year, we would gather cattails, and then when we'd go down there at night, we'd soak them in kerosene, and then we'd stick them up around the pond and light them on fire, and we'd have night skating, which we thought that was real fun. Well, I had 2 older brothers and 2 younger brothers. The brother just older than me, he died in December, just shortly before I was born in January. He was just 2 years old, and if I remember right, he died from pneumonia. And of course my mother died 70 years ago this Christmas. No, she was buried on the 23rd, and my dad went to town on the 24th and got us kids Christmas presents. And we were sitting around there on Christmas Eve, and of course everybody was feeling down, and there was a knock on the door, and it was Santa Claus. And he had all these Christmas gifts in this big bag. And if anybody would have tried to talk me out of it, there wasn't a Santa Claus, I'd have fought anybody that tried to talk me out of it. I knew there was a Santa Claus. I started the high school the fall that I was 12. And of course we lived between 6.5, 7 miles from high school. And we didn't have any hard surface roads between there and this little town of Millerton. And the first year I rode a horse back and forth until the weather got real cold, and then sometimes I'd walk a couple of miles down to a road that if it was froze up, you know, and the snow was bladed off of it, and try to catch a ride in school. But I had to start out early enough in the morning that if we didn't get a ride, we'd still get to school on time. And I can remember getting to school, and I was all wrapped up in some kind of scarves. I'm sure they're not like the tailor-made scarves we have today, and the teachers would be there to meet us. I wasn't the only one that had to walk there. They'd be there to meet us, and they'd peel the frozen scarves off of us. And in 1936, we had a heavy snow, and then we got rain, and it froze over the snow, and the snow was deep enough it was over the fences, and you could drive a team and sled right across the top of some of these fences across the field. And us kids that lived out in that area, we used our ice skates to skate to school over the fields. Once in a while you'd hit a soft spot and go through and take a good tumble, but I don't think anybody ever really got hurt. About the main thing I went to high school for was to play basketball and baseball. I didn't care too much about studying, but I was still in the top 10 in my class. Of course, there was only 9 in the class, so I kind of lucked out there.